How do, folks? Grumpy Vlogger coming at you live from the truck. I'm doing this one because that way I can stay awake. And two, I'm driving to Tulsa and I want to give everybody an update. I haven't done a live show in a couple of weeks since Judy had her stroke. I'm running up to Broken Arrow today to pick up part of her, what I call her birthday present. There's a gentleman had something for sale that Judy has wanted for a long time. So, hey Ray, you guys can see I'm on the road, so I'm not going to be able to read all the chats, but I can try and keep up. I'm on my phone. But anyways, I thought it was time I do a bit of a live stream and let you know where we stand with Judy. How's she doing? She's getting better each day. And I tell you, I've appreciated all the prayers and kind thoughts. I've recorded 100 videos, and I haven't put them up simply because I just haven't had the energy. She had I think it's called an asthmatic stroke, and it affected her language center, and that's the only thing it really affected. She got a little bit of droop on her right side, and pardon me, but it mainly affected not her speech but her language. In other words, and I've said it before, they said when the neurologist asked her what these are called, she clear and distinctly said airplanes. So but she's getting a lot better. Her sentences are a lot longer, and when she has to really think about something and she's going on to new subjects, she gets locked into the loop trying to figure out what that word is. And until she gets past that word or I figure out what she means, she's kind of locked in that loop for a little bit. But as far as her personality goes, nothing there has changed. And she's just doing a whole lot better. Each day I see an improvement. She's had some problems with sleeping patterns. She's always had that, but here since the stroke. Oh, one of the oddest things, Judy has drank Pepsi for the 40 years we've been together. She Dr. Pepper a long time ago, but not not since we've been together. And it's not quite been 40 years. It'll be 40 years in April that we actually started dating, and then we got married in July. 40 years ago. But one of the things, who else we got there? Michael Blade, hey, how you doing there? As I said, I'm in the truck, you guys, and I'm using my cell phone, so and I'm using StreamYards. That's how I'm getting by with this. But it seems to be allowing me to do that. That's one of the workarounds that I didn't know. I thought I'd try, and it seems to work. But anyways, one of the things is, like I said, Judy for 40 years has always drank Pepsi. Well, I got her Pepsi up in the hospital, and she just she couldn't stand it. Hey, Jody, how you doing, buddy? As you guys can see, I'm headed up to Tulsa. I'm doing good. And that's part of the reason I'm doing this, because I got a little time here. I just can't get the energy to put. By the end of the day, with everything going on with Judy and appointments and stuff, I'm just too wore out to edit any videos, and so I've been real lax on doing vlogs. But anyways, like I said, she's always been a Pepsi drinker, but I got her Pepsi in the hospital after, I don't know, probably on Sunday. She took about 2 drinks of it, and she didn't like the taste of it. So she tried it again later with poured over ice. Still couldn't stand the taste of it. And she hasn't had a Pepsi since the stroke. She's not completed a full can or bottle of Pepsi. So She switched to Dr. Pepper. She just can't handle Pepsi, and it's just one of those little twists of the brain. So, but so that's what I said. And Tuesday she went for her outpatient speech therapy evaluation. I got to tell you, this was funny. There was they're doing testing and to see what her abilities are to understand, because that's the other part of the problem. When her language center was hit, it wasn't just her being able to say something. She has aphasia, which is a fancy another word for stroke or whatever, but she has what's called an expressional aphasia, which means it affected her able to express and to understand. So that's what they were testing on Tuesday when they went in. And there was one point where the speech pathologist, there was 8 dots going from the small up to a large size. And she was supposed to draw a line from the smallest to the largest in order. So she did. Of course, the lady had showed her, the pathologist had showed her to go from this dot to this dot to this dot all the way around until she got to the biggest dot. Judy did exactly what she said, technically. She went from the smallest dot, drew a straight line to the largest dot. Then she went to the next smallest dot and to the largest dot, drew a straight line. So she ended up with 8 straight lines instead of one continuous line. Speech therapist said, okay. She couldn't really say anything. It was just, that's the way Judy understood it. She did exactly what she was told. But we were real lucky with this stroke that it didn't affect too much, other than she's still, and that's the frustrating part for her is, and guys, I can't see the chat, so I apologize. But that's the real frustrating part for her, is having to learn. She's learning a new language, that's for sure. She's learned the new ways to chew my butt out. And as Grant, Mr. Stadrum says, she's not learning new ways. She's always known them. She just saved them for reserve. And but it gets hilarious at times. And there's times she's frustrated and I'm laughing. And I shouldn't laugh. I'm a terrible husband. But some of the things she says just come out so funny. And I'm just like, especially after we've struggled for, 30, 40 minutes trying to understand what she's saying. And when I finally get to it, I'm like, those two are completely, it's just, like I said, that there's a complete disconnect in certain expressions and way of saying things. So that's my life right now. So that's why I haven't been doing a lot of YouTube. I appreciate all the good comments from everybody. That's why what I'm doing today is Judy has collected over the years dolls and teddy bears. It's just one of the things she loves to collect. And she has some really nice teddy bears, several nice dolls. And on Facebook Marketplace, I saw a particular brand, and a guy was selling them. He apparently had an antique store or something, and he's closed it down now, or he's closing it down. And he had a particular type of dolls that he had, and he had a lot of them. These dolls sell for anywhere from $40 to $75. I'm getting them for $7.05 a piece. So I'm buying the stock because we'll give some away as gifts. Some of them I'll just put up, and they're from the 60s. They're still in the box, untouched. And it was just a deal that I couldn't pass up. And so I contacted the guy, and I'm meeting him up there at 2 o'clock. So I left Judy. I left her. I told her goodbye. She kind of woke up and then went back to sleep, I hope. And if she didn't go back to sleep, she's going to be really ticked off because I forgot to turn the TV on for her. And she didn't know how to use the new TV, so But I made sure she had something to drink by the bed. And, you know, guys, it's just, this is my focus right now, getting her back to normal where I can, well, as normal as we can get with Judy, you know, because she's had so many other things. But this is, this is our new normal right now, and this, I know that she'll be okay. I just got to go up here, and I saw Sean Hyde. He was doing something. He did a live stream the other night, and I happened to catch it. And he was doing it mobile like this. So, and if I cut out, I apologize. But all right, Michael. Yeah, you go to work if you need to. Like I said, I can't see all the chats, and I didn't have time to invite anybody. This is just a throw together video to be able to talk to everybody for a little bit. But anyway, Sean did this, and we could hear him talking to the guy because he was still running it live, and he had his window down. So I thought, you know, some of the comments we made, joking about what can happen with these Facebook meetups. So just so anybody knows, yeah, I'm packing. I always do when I leave on a long distance. I always do when I even go to the store anymore. Even when we go to the doctor. Now, I leave my pistol inside because we can't take it inside the doctor's office. On the other hand, I don't feel bad because Judy has one in her purse. She has a concealed carry purse. So let me set that. There we go. Oh, I forgot to turn it off. I'm in the truck. I'm trying to figure out how to make my damn burn cruise control work here, so I can get on down the road and still talk to you guys. But yeah, I'm headed up to Broken Arrow, which isn't as far, and I'll probably get off here before I get too close, so that I can turn on my maps. Hey, Mel, how you doing? As you can see, I'm in the truck. I'm driving down the road using StreamYards. I'm headed up to Broken Arrow, as I was telling everybody else, to pick up a present for Judy. It's actually multiple presents, and I'm doing Facebook Live. I'm getting it from Facebook Marketplace. It's a deal that something she's wanted for years, and I haven't been able to afford it. And so I'm going up to pick up the present today because it was just a deal I couldn't pass up. So, and I got to be up there at 2 o'clock, and I'm getting there. I'll be there in plenty of time because it's only Broken Arrow. But I wanted to do this so I could just kind of give an update on Judy for anybody who's coming in late. She's doing better each day. Gets to be a little. Her library of words keeps extending, or at least the proper use of them. Sometimes she uses the word and it has nothing to do with what she's trying to say. Hello, Steve. How you doing? And I'm obviously using StreamYards, and I'm obviously not able to really read the chat too much because I got my phone. I didn't have time to set up my iPad to do this. Now I gotta tell you, today here I've been having problems with our main email account, the one that goes to my Sudlink account. It's been since the 17th of December it started getting admin bounce, and I went through and I believe it shows I'm only using like 15% of my total amount available, and yet it keeps bouncing them back. And they finally fixed it the other night after they sent me an email and it got bounced back. But then the next day it quit working again. You know, so I get a few emails through and all the rest of them are getting bounced back. I'm getting 20 bounces, admin returns. So I've gone through and I've emptied out boxes that stuff I had stored there. contacted them. They got it fixed. Now, I've discovered that it works at night after 6 o'clock, after closing time, it seems like. But it doesn't work from 6 in the morning till about 6 at night. So I don't. So I contacted them again. Just I'm running. That's why I'm running a few minutes later than I intended. But I've still got plenty of time. But you know, they reset it. They started over, and then it does it again. So I discovered today. So they're supposed to be sending it to their IT people. I don't know what their problem is. I don't know if they've got my. At one time, they had my account shut, my main email shut down because of something. I don't know if I got an attack from spam and they shut it down to protect it or what. But now they can't even send me an email because their own service doesn't work. So, and I've started another account. It works just fine. I've tested it. I did all that the other night, but I'm getting a little fed up with it because today was the 5th time I contacted them about this, and they can see I've contacted them. But anyways, as I said, I'm headed to Broken Arrow. I've got to go to this place, meet up with this guy. It's pretty easy to get to, so it just takes about an hour and 3 minutes, and I've got more than enough time to be there. I'm about, it's just 1:09. I have to be there too, and I'm almost to the toll gate now on the turnpike here. But guys, I apologize for not being able to read the chat. But as I said, I wanted to do this. Part of this help me. Because Judy had kind of a rough night last night, sleeping, but so part of this is keep me awake. Part of it's just to update everybody. But she will be doing her speech therapy once a week because one, the hospital doesn't have one person between the two, between the Tulsa hospital and the Muskogee hospital. So this gal comes down once a week. So we go in Tuesday. We'll be doing it every Tuesday. So, but yeah, it was. Mel and Steve, you didn't come in when I tell the story, but there was one point they were testing her understanding because that's part of the problem too, is what she hears me say and what her brain says I said. But I think that's a woman thing anyway. Don't tell her I said that. But, I say one thing, you hear something else. But as far as so anyways, they were testing her understanding of following instructions, and as I said earlier, there was like 8 dots on the page going from a small one, about an 1/8 inch around to one about a 1/2 inch round. There was 8 of them. She was supposed to go from the smallest to the largest in order. Well, now, and she showed sort of a circle going to that. But so people probably think I'm crazy. I'm talking about it. That's all right. Sean-eyed, if you see this, you'll know exactly. I know exactly what you mean. People thinking you're crazy. But anyways, so she did. She went from the smallest. She drew a line from the smallest dot to the largest dot. That's what she was told to do. In order. Then she went from the next smallest dot back to the largest dot until she interpreted it her way. She technically did what was said. But she missed what the lady was showing her. And I just had to grin because to me that's just Judy doing it her own way. Well, that's what she told me to do, from smallest to the largest. And in order, she did it, and she did them all in order. She didn't miss a one. And she was able to do one of those maze puzzles that even I can't do most of. She sat there and studied it until she had it in her mind exactly. And they just drew the line straight through it, So her cognitive abilities are good. It's just part of the speech is part of the language understanding. since the beginning. I apologize, Mel. I wish I had this on a bigger screen where I could read it better, but I'm in StreamYard, so I'm reading what's on StreamYard. So I will go back and read the chat, and if I glitch or I lock it, or if I drop out for a minute, please be patient because I'm between cell towers probably, you know, at 75 miles an hour, I don't think I need to be trying to read very fine print. Eventually, I'm going to set up a setup for both my truck and my van to where I can have like Sean and I did the other night. I think that was Tuesday night he did that, and he set that up, and he's got his iPad Pro, and I think I'm going to do something like that. But anyways, she is progressing each day. She's gotten a little better. And Mel, she has been thinking about you. She looked at me the other day and grinned real big, and she says, I can't wait to tell Mel to kiss my ass and call it love stories. She was able to complete that whole thought, Mel. She was thinking about you. So that's an improvement because the first 3 days she couldn't, and she's having trouble with certain names. Like she has a real hard time with Grant's name, and she knows how it's spelled. That's the other thing. She can write her name, you know. She can do all that stuff. Physically, she's not any worse off than she was. But she did want me to send that message to you in a video, or and I've recorded videos every day, but I just don't have the energy, the mindset. So I decided, what the heck, I'll just do a live stream as I'm driving to Tulsa. Something different to watch, and yeah, I knew you'd appreciate that, Mel. But she was that was one of her big sentences to complete. So, and she wanted me to pass that along. Well, I'd actually called my brother when she had the stroke, and told him. Before I went back up to the hospital, I called him that first day after the stroke, and I told him then. I said she's not able to communicate. He says, well, that's all right. Women need to be more quiet anyway. Judy really needs to be more quiet. And I said, well, I'll tell you what she told a friend of mine when he said something like that. And then I quoted what she said, kiss my ass and call a love story. And my brother chuckles real loud, and he's not one for chuckle, but he chuckles. He says, you know what? I'll be glad to hear her tell me that. If that means she's gotten better, then I look forward to it. So, and so I told her that, and she says, and it was a few days. I don't know. Probably today's Thursday, so it's probably about Tuesday, I think. On the way over to speech therapy, and she was able to. We were talking about that, and talking about my brother, and then she says, "Oh, when you talk to Mel, pass this along for me." So I did, and I just wanted you to know. And I looked at it, and I just started laughing because that was like, okay, that was a very complete thought and sentence. But I mean, she's able to. Anybody that listens to her for a little bit thinks, "Hey, she's doing just great." But I see her struggle. Why is my phone getting dark? I don't understand this damn phone sometimes. Now it looks like it's getting dark. I don't know if it's gone too hot or what. But anyways, well, I'm coming up the toll gate, so I'm doing pretty good. Then I get off. I'm probably about 2/3 of the way there now, so that's good. It's just 1:17, so I'm going to be there plenty of time. I know exactly where to go. One, he told me, and two, I looked it up. What the hell that guy doing slowing down like that? go to a stop about in between the two lanes, like, do I go to this one or this one? And I use a bike pass, so I can just come through here without having to deal with all that. But so what's this guy say? Maximum speed of this truck is 57. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. It's one of them. It's one of them food trucks, like deliveries to stores, and convenience stores that deliver the frozen foods and stuff. Yeah, it's a little short bed reefer with just a box truck, I guess you'd call it, whatever. And it said, it had on the back, it said its maximum speed was 57 miles an hour. Now, at what point did somebody decide 57 miles an hour was just the perfect speed to drive? I mean, what about 55? How about 60? No, let's shoot for 57. That had to be, somebody had to have time on their hands and hey, I want to paint this sign, make it look different. We're going to say 57. Or some mechanic in there says, hey, let's screw with them. They can't go 60, they can't go 55. We'll put it at 57 on the governor of the truck. So, I don't know. I sometimes wonder, I know Patrick, our youngest son, lived in Georgia for a couple of years, working out there when he was building his welding skills. And he in this town, and he lived Georgia, South Carolina, Georgia. He kind of in between the two. I think he actually lived in Georgia but worked in South Carolina, and he just drive across the border. But anyways, the little town he lived in had a unique speed limit sign, and it was like 23.5 miles an hour was the speed limit in town. So okay, well, all right, that's fine. But him and his buddies, his roommates at the trailer they were in, those knotheads decided that they got drunk one night and decided, hey, let's steal that sign. That's a unique sign. Well, it was very unique. And the next day when the police discovered it was missing, of course, the mayor, the city council, the newspaper, whoever stole it, they were worse than Al Qaeda themselves, Of course, this was before 9/11, but still. These guys were homegrown terrorists. They stole that speed limit sign. Well, then they got kind of scared, thinking, oh my God, what do we do? Because they sobered up the next day and realized what the hell they'd done. So they hid it, or they thought they did. They kept it hidden in their apartment. Well, the landlord that they were renting the trailer from decided to put the trailer up, or the house up that they were renting up for sale. And so the realtor and the prospective buyers came in, and Patrick was the only one there. He was off that day for some reason. The others were working or doing something. And they came through the house, and Pat didn't think anything about it, and they saw that sign. Well, hell, that was a citywide scandal, that 23.5 mile an hour speed limit sign. So the police got called. Well, that was probable cause. It turns out a couple of his friends like to partake of left-handed cigarettes, cannabis, weed, Mary Jane, whatever you want to call it. Happy cigarettes. Well, Pat was the only one there. And his friend showed up, the one that it belonged to, he showed up. So they get arrested for possession of stolen property, for theft. Well, anyways, long story short, they of course gave us, and they didn't get, and on top of that, they didn't get to keep the sign. So they now, if my grandson, if Patrick's older son sees this, let this be a word of advice to you. Don't do something stupid, and damn sure don't steal a sign that's so unique everybody's looking for it. But anyways, it all came out. He ended up doing, I don't know, a bunch of community service, and it did him a lot of good. It finally got him to. It finally made him grow up. He got one other time. He got. I think he got pulled over. Because back and forth to work, he just used his motor scooter, and he had this little motor scooter he'd drive back and forth. He had a truck and everything, but he, didn't want to waste gas on it. And he apparently had been drinking, and he got pulled over for driving under the influence. And they threw his butt in jail because the other thing was still outstanding. So he calls me up to bail him out. And I said, sorry, by the time I get to it, it was a 3-day weekend on top of that. So by the time I get to it, you'll already be out. So, and he thanked me later for that because he ended up going through a defensive driving course, a DUI course, and it was good for him. And that's when he finally grew up. And ever since then, since he came back, got married, got married to Janie, he's been the most responsible of young men. He's a great father. But, I just saw that speed limit, how fast that truck, 57 miles an hour, and it reminded me of that 23.5 mile an hour sign in Georgia. So, well, anyways, guys, I think what I'm going to do is, because I'm getting close up here, I got a little bit of ways to go, but let's see, how am I doing for time? Oh, I'm doing great for time, so I'm doing good, but yeah, it was one of those growing things. Good God, I'm turning on I got the heat on. I was wondering why I was getting so friggin' hot. I forgot I had it on the other day when it was cold. It's only 40 degrees right now, so again, I apologize. Hey, Steve Mack, let's see, who else have I missed? I apologize for anybody I've missed in the chat. This phone is not big enough for me to see. See real good, but maybe I can buy one of them Samsung 2020 21-C3s that looks like a boombox. Maybe I can buy one of those kind of phones. I can't see how anybody can talk on something that damn big. It just looks silly. Like me putting my iPad up to my ear. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, these phones here are big enough. This iPhone XR, so yeah, it's not even a 12, it's just an XR, but damn good phone is paid for, and I'm not going to worry about it. So, and I didn't like the sound of that noise, whatever that was. I'm going to be really pissed if I blow a tire up here. Shouldn't, but if I do, I'm gonna be really pissed. But yeah, so I just thought I'd do a live stream and give you guys updates on Judy. As I said, she's getting better. She's still got a long ways to go. Yesterday she was trying to tell me something, and it was just a struggle. Plus, she didn't like it. She took that evaluation test on Tuesday, and that really stressed her out. Yesterday we just kind of laid back, and I'd made arrangements to go up here to Broken Arrow meet this guy today because I knew yesterday I wouldn't be able to. But I knew Judy would just be too stressed. So, but yeah, I'm just pleased with how well she's doing. I mean, from that first night when she had that stroke, and I tell you, that was creepy. One minute I was talking to her and talking just like we are now, and she was carrying on her side of the conversation back. The next minute I asked her again a question, and when she answered me, well, which way you going? Either accelerate or back off, one of the two. I guess he decided to back off. Anyways, when she had that stroke, it's just like somebody flipped the switch, and suddenly She was still speaking English, but she wasn't speaking the words that were supposed to be there. So, but I'll go back and read the chat, everybody. But I think I'm gonna get up here in a few minutes because I got plenty of time. Yeah. When I'll take this this next exit is the one I need. So, folks, I'm gonna need that lane. So you guys might just turn your signals on, get the hell over. All right, this is gonna work out pretty good. This is straight out Mexico. It's called Kenosha, but it's actually it's 71st Street in Tulsa, Kenosha, and Broken Arrow. So, and it's at 115th in Kenosha, so it means I got to go the other direction for a little while. But that will, I'll probably pull over here somewhere and shut this off and finish writing. I apologize for not bringing anybody in, but this was an impromptu. I set it up not too long. I set it up while I was discussing things with Suddenlink about getting my friggin' email working finally. Hopefully, they said they're gonna take care of it, but let's see. Yeah, this is where I want to go. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I want to. That goes back to Tulsa, so I want to go this other way. So, anyways, guys, I appreciate everybody's dropped in. I just, like I said, she's improving. She's getting better. All of the good wishes, the prayers, the kind thoughts, all the birthday wishes, all the everything. And I haven't seen anything from Rick Halbert and haven't heard anything for a few days. It's 53 degrees there. So I'm going to pull up here in a minute and at the Whataburger. And let's see, this is North 20th. And I'm going to shut this off. So let me pull in here. And I'll shut this off and say goodbye to everybody. And then I'll turn on my maps so I can see exactly where it is that I've got to go. But anyways, guys, I want to thank you for riding along with me and listening to me babble. Yeah, I will drive safe, like I said. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for hanging with me, and I'll try and call you this week if I will give everybody. Yeah, I'll give all the. Yeah, I understand, Mel. I'm on my phone and I couldn't hardly read it. So, anyways, guys, remember what I say: be kind, treat each other better than you treat yourselves. Remember, all lives matter. And thank you for the prayers and for Judy and I both. And God bless, God help the USA. I'm the Grumpy Vlogger, folks, and I am out of here. Thanks for riding along.